So, let's talk about a trend that has absolutely exploded. You've probably seen it all over your social media feeds, these incredibly detailed, sometimes weird but always fascinating images that look like they were painted by a master artist or shot by a professional photographer. But they weren't. They were created by a computer, by an AI. The interest in this technology, which we can call AI rendering, has gone completely vertical. We're talking about a massive surge in search interest, something like 9,400% over the last couple of years. It's a hockey stick growth curve that you rarely see, and it signals a fundamental shift in how we create and think about visual content. This isn't just a niche hobby for tech enthusiasts anymore. It's going mainstream, and fast. This boom didn't just happen overnight, but it feels like it did. One moment, AI-generated images were a quirky experiment, often producing distorted, nightmarish results. The next, they were winning art competitions and showing up in major advertising campaigns. This rapid improvement is what's catching everyone's attention. The technology has reached a point where it's not just usable, it's powerful. It's accessible too. Anyone with a computer and an internet connection can now command a virtual artist to create almost anything they can imagine. This democratization of high-quality visual creation is the core of the revolution, putting tools that once required years of training and expensive software into the hands of millions. The signs are everywhere, from your favorite content creators using AI-generated thumbnails to major studios experimenting with it for concept art. It's a conversation that has moved from tech forums to dinner tables. People are asking big questions. What does this mean for artists? How does it actually work? And of course, how can I try it myself? The sheer scale of this trend is hard to overstate. It's a tidal wave of creativity and disruption, and it's pulling everyone in. Whether you're excited, skeptical, or just plain curious, it's impossible to ignore the fact that AI rendering is reshaping our digital landscape in real time, one generated pixel at a time. What we're witnessing is more than just a new feature for a photo app. It's the emergence of an entirely new medium. It's a new tool for human expression, one that blends our imagination with the immense processing power of artificial intelligence. This isn't just about making cool pictures. It's about changing workflows, creating new possibilities, and challenging our long-held definitions of art, creativity, and authorship. The 9,400% figure is more than a statistic. It represents a fundamental change in our relationship with technology and creativity. It's the starting gun for a race into a future where the only limit to what we can create is the power of our own imagination. Alright, let's break it down. What is AI rendering? In the simplest terms, it's the process of using an artificial intelligence program to create an image from scratch based on a text description you provide. Think of it like this. You're the art director, and the AI is your infinitely skilled, incredibly fast artist. You don't need to know how to paint, draw, or operate a camera. You just need to be able to describe the image you have in your head. It's a collaboration between human language and machine intelligence, resulting in a completely new piece of visual media that didn't exist moments before. If we compare it to traditional art, the differences are obvious. A painter uses brushes, canvas, and paint, relying on years of practice in technique, color theory, and composition. An AI renderer uses algorithms and a massive database of existing images. It doesn't have hands or a physical medium. It works with data and pixels. Photography, on the other hand, captures a moment from the real world. A photographer finds the right light, frames a subject, and clicks the shutter. AI rendering doesn't capture reality. It synthesizes a new one. It generates an image based on its understanding of what millions of photos of, say, a cat or a sunset look like. The magic here is that AI rendering can blend concepts in ways that are difficult, or even impossible, to create manually. You could ask for a photorealistic portrait of an astronaut riding a horse on Mars, and the AI will generate it. It understands the individual concepts, astronaut, horse, Mars, and combines them into a coherent novel image. This is where it moves beyond a simple tool and becomes a creative partner. It can take abstract ideas, moods, and styles, like a lonely robot in a rainy city, in the style of Van Gogh, and translate them into a visual format. It's not just replicating, it's interpreting and creating. Ultimately, AI rendering is a new canvas. It's not necessarily a replacement for painting or photography, but rather a powerful new addition to the creative toolkit. For some, it's a way to quickly visualize an idea. For others, it's a medium for creating entirely new forms of art that were never possible before. It lowers the barrier to entry for visual creation, allowing more people to express their ideas visually. While a photographer captures what is, and a traditional artist creates what could be, an AI renderer generates what you can imagine, bridging the gap between thought and image with incredible speed and flexibility. So, how does the tech actually work? How do you go from typing a cinematic photo of a corgi wearing a crown to getting a picture of a royal dog? It mostly comes down to two key concepts in AI generative adversarial networks, or GANs, and more recently, diffusion models. Let's start with GANs, the idea that really kicked things off. The credit for this brilliant concept goes to researcher Ian Goodfellow, who came up with it back in 2014. A GAN is essentially two AIs working against each other. One is the generator, which creates the images. The other is the discriminator, which acts as an art critic, trying to spot whether the image is fake or real from a training dataset. The generator starts by making random noise and slowly learns to create better and better fakes to fool the discriminator. The discriminator, in turn, gets better at spotting the fakes. This back-and-forth competition forces the generator to produce images that are incredibly realistic and detailed. It's like a forger and a detective locked in a room, constantly one-upping each other until the forger's work is indistinguishable from the real thing. This adversarial process was a breakthrough, allowing AIs to generate convincing faces, animals, and objects. It laid the groundwork for many of the tools we see today, proving that an AI could, in fact, create. However, most of the modern, high-quality image generators you see today, like those from OpenAI, Midjourney, and Stability AI, have shifted to a different technique called diffusion models. This process works a bit differently. Imagine taking a clear photograph and slowly adding random noise to it until it's just a field of static. A diffusion model learns to do that process in reverse. It starts with a field of random noise, and guided by your text prompt, it carefully removes the noise step by step until a clear, coherent image emerges that matches your description. It's like a sculptor starting with a block of marble and chipping away everything that isn't the statue. The text prompt is the crucial part of this process. When you type your description, the AI uses a language model to understand the meaning and relationship between your words. It translates corgi, crown, and cinematic into mathematical concepts it can work with. This understanding guides the noise removal process, ensuring the final image doesn't just look like something, but specifically like the thing you asked for. This is why learning to write good prompts is so important. It's how you communicate your vision to the AI. The better the prompt, the better the AI can interpret your idea and bring it to life from that initial canvas of pure static. Ready to make your first AI-generated image? It's easier than you think. Let's walk through it using one of the most popular tools out there, Midjourney. Right now, Midjourney operates through the chat app Discord. So your first step is to get a Discord account if you don't already have one. Once you're set up, you'll need to join the official Midjourney server. Think of this as walking into a massive, bustling art studio where thousands of people are creating images all at once. It's a fantastic place to see what's possible and get inspired by others. Once you're in the Midjourney Discord server, find one of the newcomer channels, often named Newbies or General. This is where you can start creating. To give the AI a command, you'll use a specific Discord command. Type /imagine in the chat box, and a little box labeled prompt will pop up. This is where you type your description of the image you want to create. This is your blank canvas. Don't be shy. Start with something simple. For example, you could type, a cute robot holding a red balloon, sunny day, cartoon style. The more descriptive you are, the better the result will be. After you hit enter, the Midjourney bot will get to work. You'll see a message acknowledging your request, and then, after about a minute, it will generate a grid of 4 different image options based on your prompt. This is your first look at what the AI has interpreted from your words. Below this grid of 4 images, you'll see 2 rows of buttons, U1, U2, U3, U4, and V1, V2, V3, V4. The U buttons stand for upscale. If you like one of the 4 options, 1 is top left, 2 is top right, and so on. Hitting its corresponding U button will generate a larger, more detailed version of it. The V buttons stand for variation. If you like the general style or composition of one image, but it's not quite perfect, hitting its V button will create 4 new variations of that specific image. This allows you to refine the AI's creation until it's exactly what you want. You can also see a reroll button that looks like 2 arrows in a circle. Clicking this will run your original prompt again, giving you a completely new set of 4 images. Play around with these options. Tweak your prompts, create variations, and upscale your favorites. That's it. You're now an AI artist. This technology isn't just for making funny pictures, it's a serious tool that is already transforming professional industries. Take marketing and advertising, for example. Creating a campaign used to require expensive photo shoots, location scouting, and hiring models. Now, a marketing team can generate dozens of unique, high-quality lifestyle shots or product mock-ups in an afternoon, all tailored to a specific brand aesthetic. They can A/B test different visual concepts for social media ads in minutes instead of weeks, dramatically speeding up their workflow and reducing costs. It's a game changer for creating compelling visual content on a budget and at scale. The entertainment and gaming industries are also seeing a massive impact. Before a single line of code is written for a new video game or a scene is shot for a film, artists spend countless hours creating concept art. They design characters, environments, and props to establish the visual style of the project. AI rendering can now supercharge this process. An art director can generate hundreds of variations of a character or a fantasy landscape in a day, exploring creative directions that would have been too time-consuming before. This allows for more creative exploration at the earliest, most crucial stages of development, leading to richer and more visually diverse worlds. Architecture and interior design are two more fields being revolutionized. Architects can use AI to quickly generate realistic visualizations of their building designs. Instead of just a flat blueprint, they can show a client exactly what a proposed space will look like at sunset, furnished in a specific style or with different building materials. An interior designer can take a photo of a client's empty room and use AI to generate multiple design options: modern, rustic, minimalist, helping the client visualize the final result before committing to expensive furniture and decor. This makes the design process more collaborative and efficient. Finally, the world of fashion is also embracing AI. Designers can use it to rapidly prototype new clothing designs, experimenting with different fabrics, patterns, and silhouettes, without having to create physical samples. They can generate entire lookbooks with AI-generated models, showcasing their collections in a variety of settings and styles. This not only speeds up the design cycle, but also opens up new avenues for creativity, allowing designers to visualize and iterate on avant-garde concepts that would be difficult to sketch or drape by hand. In every one of these fields, AI rendering is acting as a powerful creative accelerant. So with any powerful new technology, there's a good side and a not-so-good side. And we have to talk about both. On the one hand, the biggest advantage of AI rendering is the democratization of creativity. It gives people who may not have traditional artistic skills a way to bring their ideas to life. It's a powerful tool for brainstorming, storytelling, and personal expression. This can lead to an explosion of new art forms and new creative voices being heard. It's also incredibly fast. A graphic designer can now produce concepts in a fraction of the time, freeing them up to focus on higher-level creative strategy rather than tedious execution. But on the flip side, there are some very real concerns. The most immediate one is the potential impact on jobs for commercial artists, illustrators, and photographers. If a company can generate a high-quality stock image for pennies in seconds, will they still hire a photographer for a multi-day shoot? This is a serious question, and it's causing a lot of anxiety in creative communities. Then there's the issue of copyright. The AI models are trained on billions of images scraped from the internet, often without the permission of the original artists. This has led to lawsuits and a heated debate about whether AI-generated art constitutes plagiarism or fair use. This leads us to an even darker side: misinformation and deepfakes. The same technology that can create a beautiful fantasy landscape can also be used to create fake but realistic images of political events that never happened or put people in compromising situations. As the technology gets better, it will become harder and harder to tell the difference between what's real and what's AI-generated. This poses a significant threat to trust in media and public discourse. We need strong ethical guidelines and better detection tools to combat the malicious use of this technology. And that's a conversation we need to be having right now. Looking ahead, the path forward requires a balanced approach. We need to embrace the incredible creative potential of AI rendering while actively working to mitigate its risks. This involves supporting artists as they adapt, developing clearer laws around copyright and data, and promoting digital literacy so everyone can critically evaluate the images they see online. The technology itself is neutral. It's how we choose to use it that matters. The future isn't about AI replacing humans, but about humans learning to collaborate with AI. It's on all of us, creators, consumers, and tech companies, to steer this revolution in a direction that is ethical, equitable, and ultimately beneficial for everyone. Get involved, try it out, and think about how it's changing your world.